So 52 Frames is basically a Project 52 photography project that I started 3 years ago, where we have a group of about 80 photographers now from all over the world that submit a photo every week according to a different challenge, according to a different theme. So just to give you an example of the type of themes that we have, we'll click to the next slide. You know, what's so nice is that this is not just professional photographers, it's a real mix of amateur and professionals. And it's really a way to instill in your schedule a space for being creative. And I think today we just get so bombarded with so many different things, and we're so like in, you know, technological swamp of things. It's nice to have built into our schedule a space where we can just be creative for the sake of being creative. And that's the core of what the project's about. It's just like for fun, just to be creative for the sake of being creative, which some of us haven't done, you know, since kindergarten. So this was week number 44, Sky, and you see just the different variety of people's perspectives from all over the world. We have week 46. This theme was one light source. So one light source, you see somebody used their fridge as a light source. This next one is week number 7, which was love. But you see here, this woman here just has potatoes that form the word love, if you look carefully. And here on the bottom left next to that, there's just plates in a dishwasher. So it's really you know, levels of creativity and levels of from amateur to professional. I think you really get a great spectrum of creativity in each album. So this is a shot I got. I think it was the first year. This was for a sunset theme, and I went to the beach in my socks and sneakers. I was gonna capture the sunset, and I got there and I realized I had the wrong lens. I had a wide-angle lens, and the sun, if you know, is actually pretty far away. So I got there and I'm like, I'm an idiot. So instead of turning home, I'm like, okay, let me go on. So I go on the beach with my socks and sneakers, and then I spot these kids playing mod code, and I see the reflection. I just like, I'm in the water now, with my socks and sneakers in the water, and I'm just snapping away. I'm like, this is amazing, and like, you never know what's going to open up. Once you have your camera and you're doing something, you go with it. And then this next shot is this was heights. The theme was heights, and my friend knew a guy who got us access to the roof of the tallest building in Israel. This armed security guard took us up, and this electric sliding door, like we climbed a ladder, and we were on the helipad of the roof of this building. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how did I get here? And the reason I'm showing you these photos is because I never would have gotten to these places if not for this project, if not for this thing in place where I'm giving myself this challenge, and I'm like just completely thinking outside the box and just having fun and going for it, and like what could I do this week to make it even crazier. So after 3 years of the project, started to notice some really interesting these consequences in a good way of being involved in the project. One is you get better. It's nice that you could actually see yourself get better visually, and people all the time they tell me that they've gotten so much better in the project, you know, from the feedback and the critiques and the community. And it's not just about the project. If you do anything every week, then you're going to get better at it. That's how humans work. Another consequence is that you begin to enjoy the process, because the process is not always fun. There are weeks where I don't want to take a photo, and there's themes that like don't speak to me. You begin to enjoy the process of not being perfect, and I think the people that have difficulties being imperfect, they usually drop out of the project, because with consistency does not come perfection. Consistency is, you know, especially with creativity, there's a real ebb and a flow. Like there's arcs and wanes, and creativity is not something you can just force. But the trick is that if you're consistent with it, then you get past like the grunge of being uninspired, and things come from that. Things will always come from that as you're consistent. So it's really a large part of enjoying the process, which is, I think, a nice life technique also. But what's interesting is some of the unintended consequences that I've seen from the project, which is not necessarily photography related. And that is that I've heard from multiple people in the project that it's literally changed the way that they look at their lives. I mean, it creates a paradigm shift where they're literally seeing things in front of them that they wouldn't have seen otherwise. It opens up this space where you're able to see different perspectives that are right in front of you that you wouldn't otherwise ordinarily see. But if I never push myself outside of what I'm comfortable with, I will never grow, change, or learn. I've said it before and I'll say it again, this photo project has honestly made me view the world differently. If there's nothing more than that, I can walk away happy. So I'd like to encourage you all, now that it's 2014, start your own creative project. Start your own Project 52, or if you're more ambitious, Project 365, and try and find that creative space in your lives. Thank you.